Hello everyone, this is Simple Math for you. Our lesson today is Rate of Change and Slope Part 2. مرحبا بكم في Simple Math for you. درسنا اليوم هو إيجاد الميل، ميل المستقيم أو معدل التغير. Find the slope of the line that passes through each pair of points. أوجد ميل المستقيم الذي يمر بالنقطتين التاليتين. أولا، ما هو الميل؟ What is the slope? Slope is the change of y over change of x. ميل هو معدل تغير قيمة الواي على تغير قيمة في الإكس. أو باستخدام القانون التالي. We can use this formula. M equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What is x1? What is y1? What's x2, y2? Each point will have x coordinate and y coordinate. ممكن نعتبر البوينت الأولى هي x1 y1 والبوينت الثانية هي x2 y2. We can consider that this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2, and then we will apply the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is equal to 2 minus 5 over minus 1 minus 4. 2 minus 5 is negative 3, minus 1 minus 4 is negative 5. Negative goes with negative, the answer is 3 over 5. Let's take another example. Let's choose this time this point as x1, y1 and this as x2, y2. هل من الممكن؟ نعم بالطبع. You can use this as first or the second point. So we can say that y2 minus y1 means 2 minus 3 over x2 minus x1, which is 8 minus 1. And this will be negative 1 over 7. You notice here that the slope here is positive. Positive means the line is going up from left to right. It's increasing. It has this shape or this shape or this shape with different slopes. It can be even like this. This is the left side and this is the right, as if you imagine that somebody is going up from left to right. For this one, the slope is negative. That means it is decreasing. And that means from left to right, the line is going down. It has this shape, or this shape, slightly decreasing. You can say sharply decreasing. All of them have negative slopes, something like this even. It's not zero, it's not horizontal. It's also going down, but smooth going down. From left to right, he is going down. He is decreasing his height. Okay. Can the slope be zero? Yes, it can. Let's see this example. In this exercise, if you apply the slope formula, you will say m is y2 minus 1 over x2 minus x1, which is negative 5 minus minus 5 equals 1 minus 4. Negative 5 minus means plus. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. 0 divided by negative 3 is 0. 0 divided by any number, positive or negative number, is 0. What is the meaning of zero slope? Zero slope, that means it has no slope. It is just have no rate of change. It is just a horizontal line keeping the same level. And we can expect that by observing that the y value is the same. That means line is staying on the same height, on the same level. And any horizontal line will have zero slope. So it's not a special case. All horizontal lines, any horizontal line, you can write here, any horizontal lines, an horizontal line will have slope is 0. Okay, let's take another example. For this exercise, x1, y1, x2, y2, if you apply the formula of the slope, you can say minus 3 minus 6 over minus 1 minus minus 1. So it's minus 9 over 0. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0. We cannot divide by 0. Even if you put it in the calculator, it will give you error or syntax error or something undefined. And that is undefined. You cannot define a value that has 0 denominator. You cannot divide by 0. ما نقدر نقسم على صفر. حتكون قيمة غير معرفة. And we can observe that. نلاحظ إنه نفس الإكس، يعني الإكس نفسها لم تتغير, and that means it will stay on x equals -1, and it is a vertical line. So any vertical line will have undefined slope. So all vertical line, الخطوط الرأسية, have no slope or undefined slope. So as a revision here, we have undefined slope for vertical lines. Here, horizontal line, 0 slope. And if you sketch this line, by the way, it will be standing on the -5. On the -5, it will be a horizontal line, something like this. So it has 0 slope, as you see, horizontal line. This line has negative slope. This line has positive slope when it is increasing. So we might have one of these cases. Now, what if you are asked to find the slope of a line represented by the table below? Any table. As we have done in the previous video, we will choose any 2 points. You can choose, for example, this point and this point, any 2 points. You are free to choose any 2 points. So our first point would be with x0, y3. The second point is -2 and 5. So this one, x1, y1, x2, y2, and we will apply the formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. إذا نختار أي نقطتين ونطبق عليهم معادلة الميل ونطبق y2 minus y1 ناقص y1 x2 ناقص x1 هيطلع لنا 2 على ناقص 2 وهي ناقص 1. So the rate of change is as follows. It's -1. It's a negative slope, so it is decreasing. Okay. Find the slope of a line represented by the graph. This time هلا عندنا graph مرسوم. What shall we do? Either you choose 2 points, ممكن تختار أي points, and he has helped you to choose these points, but choose smart points. يعني ما تختار points موجودة هنا لأنه من الصعوبة إنك تعرف بالضبط أي x وأي value حيكونوا fractions. فنختارها على رأس المربع. At the corner of the square, choose the point. Choose a smart point with clear and integers as coordinate. So this one has 1 and 7 as x and y. And this will be x1, y1 if you want, and this will be x2, y2. And we can apply the formula. This is one of the approaches. هذا أحد الطرق. So you can say y2 minus y1, 4 minus 7, x2 minus x1, minus 3 minus 1. So this will be minus 3 over minus 4, which is 3 over 4. Of course, we expect that the slope is positive. نتوقع إنه الميل موجب لأنه يزداد من اليسار إلى اليمين، طالع فوق من الشمال لليمين. So هذا موجب, slope is موجب, so positive, and this is one of the ways. Another way for doing that, if you have graphed line, is to apply formula. Slope is الميل هو rise over run. Rise is usually how much you rise to reach this point. يعني if you imagine that this is point 1 and this is point 2, you want to go from 1 to 2 by only vertical or horizontal path. فإذا إحنا لازم نروح على من نقطة لنقطة باستخدام بس طرق رأسية وأفقية فقط. فإذا أول شيء عشان تروح لهذا رح تطلع فوق 3 نقاط 1 2 3 and this change in y هذا الفرق بالارتفاع 3 نقاط أو 3 وحدات هو rise. So our rise in this case is 3. So I write it here. Rise is 3. Now you will run, and usually we run horizontally. إحنا نركض أفقيا. إذا نعد كم وحدة مشينا من هاي البوينت للبوينت الثانية. We have ran 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our run here is 4. Now if you divide rise over run, it will be 3 over 4, which is exactly the same value that we obtained by finding 2 points. Okay, can we run first, then rise? Yes, we can. Let's erase that and we will see what are other options. Assume you are running here and then rising here. You are running from this point to that direction, 4 points to the right, 4 points to the right, so run is positive 4. Up 3 units, you are going up 3 units. And when you divide rise over run, it will be 3 over 4. But if you go the other direction, if you have this way, if you are going from this point to this point, you are running left, so your run is negative 4. You are rising down 3 units, so your rise is negative 3. And if you divide rise over run, it will be minus 3 over minus 4, which is equivalent to 3 over 4. In all cases, in all directions, you will have the same result. My advice is just to count normally, and you know that it's increasing from left to right, so you know it's positive. No need to say because it's going left or right. Just find out how much is the value of rise, how much is the value of running, and divide them, and you know already that it's increasing. تعرف انه زايد، بس زيادة يزيد من اليسار إلى اليمين يرتفع. إذا سلوب الميل موجب، فإحنا بنحط الإشارة حسب الاتجاه الخط اللي عندنا. Okay. Now, what if you know the slope and you have a missing coordinate? السلوب موجود عندي بس في واحد من الكوردينيتس مفقود. How can I find it? Since the slope is here، هاي الكيورد، هاي المفتاح، السلوب موجود، إذا أكتب معادلة السلوب. Okay. هلا أخطط. I will label the points x1 y1 x2 y2 and I will replace وأعوض بالقيم الموجودة عندي. هل الميل معروف؟ نعم. slope is here. I will put 1 over 2. y2 minus y1 I will replace r minus y1 is 15. x2 minus x1 يعني minus 4 minus 10. I will try to simplify as much as I can. حاول أبسط قدر الاستطاعة. So 1 over 2 is r minus 15 over minus 14. This is minus 14. Now, what will happen? I have 1 over 2 equals r minus 15 over minus 14. A proportion. Going back to the lesson of proportion. نرجع لدرس التناسب. We will cross multiply. So I will take this first. 2 times r minus 15 equals to the other part. 1 times negative 14. And I will solve the proportion. Use the distributive property, خاصية التوزيع. 2 by r through r. 2 times 15 30. 1 times negative 14 is negative 14. حل المعادلة. كيف نحل المعادلة؟ كالعادة you can add 30 here and there. So 2r is minus 14 plus 30 is 16. Divide both sides by 2. إذن r is 8. r تساوي 8. Here r equals to 8. Okay, let's have another example here. We will do the same thing. You can solve with me to check. Replace. Evaluate and simplify as much as you can. اختصر، بسط قدر الاستطاعة. Now we have here negative and here negative. We can multiply both sides by minus 1 and cancel them. And let's try to now solve this proportion. حل التناسب الباقي. Distribute توزيع الضرب. Four times 5 is 20. And take this to the other side. 4r is, you can say also 20 plus 20 if you like this way more. then divide آخر خطوة, and then R is 38 divided by 4, which is 9.5. It can be fraction as well. Sometimes you can expect it, but if it's a fraction, it's difficult to expect. يعني من السهل مرات نتوقع, بس لما يكون كسر صعب التوقع. Now, we'll do this one. And we solved different examples. One when x is unknown, one with y unknown. Now 8 here, we can write it as 8 over 1, because 8 over 1 is 8, the same thing. And we will apply what we have done before. Simplify 18 over 3 minus r. Cross multiply. Some of you may like to simplify. If you don't have calculator, you can simplify first. Means what? You look at the 8 and the 18. Both of them are divisible by 2. And you can say that this can be divided by 2, which is 4. And this can be divided by 2, which is 9, to make it lighter weight. And then you can cross multiply. You can do that. If not, just use cross multiplication as they are. You can use the calculator and evaluate. 9 times 1, 9. 4 times 3, 12. 4 times r, 4r equals to 9. And then take this away, or take it to the other side. 9 minus 12 is negative 3. Then divide by negative 4 both sides. R is 3 over 4, since negative over negative positive, so it is 3 over 4. Or in decimal, it is 0.75. You can try also not to simplify. Will you have the same answer or not? And now we are going to apply a real life exercise. A boat is located at sea level. A scuba diver is 80 feet along the surface of the water from the boat and 30 feet below the water. This is the diver. He is here. He is staying below sea level, تحت سطح البحر. And he is 30 meters below the sea level. Here he is. And also he is 80 feet from this boat. This is 80 feet, yes. And that's why the coordinates is 80 and negative 30, because we will consider this point to be our origin. And this diver is 80 feet to the right, لليمين من هذا الصفر من نقطة المركز، وتحت سطح البحر 30, so it's minus 30. So this is the point. So this will be my x1, y1 point. Now, let's continue here. A fish is 20 feet along the horizontal plane from the scuba diver and 10 feet below the scuba diver. This is the fish. I'll use another color for the fish. This is our fish. This is the yellow one. This is the fish. And this fish is again 20 feet far from this diver and 10 feet below his level as well. Now, let's try to make the coordinates, to write the coordinates of this point. Where does the fish located exactly? If you consider that this is the origin, so this will be the horizontal distance until you reach this fish. And that means you are going to add this 80 plus this distance, which is 20, and that means this fish is located at 100 feet horizontally. What about the y coordinate? Same here applies. Now, the fish is 30 feet below the sea plus that 10, so 30 plus 10, 40 below the sea level, so it is negative 40. Since it's below, we will take negative number. لأنه تحت سطح البحر فهتاخد الإشارة السالبة. هي في أسفل من أو تحت الدايفرز الغواص كمان بمقدار 30. So we can consider this point as x2, y2. And then he is asking, what is the slope between the diver and the fish? So we are asked to find the slope of this part of the line, and we will apply the slope formula. y1, which is negative 30, over x2 minus x1, يعني 100 minus 80. So it is minus 40 plus 30 over 20 means minus 10 over 20, which is cancelling the zeros, which is negative 1 over 2. We expect that it is decreasing from left to right, it's going down. So it's negative slope, and yes, it's a negative slope. Can we do that easier way or faster way? Yes, of course. We can find the rate of change. The rate of change of y, which is the rise, which is 10, over this running 10, 20, so it is 1 over 2, and it is decreasing, so it will take the negative value. Or you can say that if you want the details, you can go to the right 20, so your run is 20, your rise, because you are going down in minus 10, rise over run, let's write it here, the rise over run is, it is going down 10, so it is negative 10. Running 20 means positive, and when you simplify, take the 0 away, it will be negative 1 over 2. And with that, we end up this lesson, rate of change and slope. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was easy. See you next video. Thank you all. Goodbye.